Well, good morning, and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. Hope that you are well this morning. Had to take these off because there's a latency that is driving Willie a little nuts. All right, so listen, we've got an interesting story for you this morning, I think. It is a story about a federal judge that is blocking Florida's law on transgender care, calling it unconstitutional. What? Yeah, like somehow mutilating small children is now unconstitutional. We'll talk about it. The battle is real, kids. I'm just telling you that the battle is real, and the battle is real, and we've got lots of fronts on this. In this war of, at the very least, common sense, at the very most, this spiritual warfare that is attacking our culture and attacking our kids. This is real stuff. Anyway, we were all pretty pleased a little bit ago when the Florida legislature put forth a bill, and it was signed by the governor, sort of getting rid of, banning a lot of this gender affirming. Actually, it's the whole idea of this gender dysmorphia affirming behavior going on in the country and going on in the state of Florida. So anyway, the story is this: a federal judge blocked most of the law pushed by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis that limited transgender care for adults and banned transgender care for minors, claiming that the law was, quote, unconstitutional, end quote. In a court case on June 11th, that was 3 days ago, U.S. District Judge Robert L. Hinkle rejected most of Florida's law after reviewing a lawsuit filed by parents of transgender children and adults. Hinkle claimed, quote, transgender identity is real, end quote, and said that the state cannot deny transgenders treatment. This is according to the Washington Post. Florida has adopted a statute that rules that banned gender-affirming care for minors, even when medically appropriate, Hinkle wrote in a case file. The ban is unconstitutional. Now, before we go on here, this seems to be the only sort of dysmorphia that needs care, that needs to be affirmed. So if you have any other sort of dysmorphia, like, I don't know, you think you're too skinny, what do they call that? They don't say, you're right, you're too skinny, go ahead and don't eat, don't force these people to eat, don't put them in the hospital when you have some sort of body dysmorphia, right? They don't affirm that. That's not the treatment for that. When you think that you're skinny when you're 40 pounds and you're dying, but you still think you're fat, right? You don't see that. You have this body dysmorphia. They don't continue to say, well, you know what? They shouldn't have to be force fed with a tube to live. Just let them think that they're fat. It's okay. We don't do that with anything else. But however, we're doing with this. There's got to be a reason, right? Florida's law took effect in May of this year after DeSantis signed several bills banning transgender care for children and measures regarding transgender issues, according to the Health News Florida. Other states have been outlawing transgender care for minors, but Florida's law became the first to limit care for adults. The law protects minors by preventing healthcare providers from offering puberty blockers, hormone therapy, and surgical procedures, stated the Health News Florida. Minors who are already undergoing puberty blockers and hormone therapies are exempt from the law. However, the State Board of Medicine and Board of Osteopathic Medicine have to create a list of rules for physicians providing care to minors to follow. If physicians violate the law, they could face a third-degree felony charges. With the law in place, adults seeking transgender care are faced with different obstacles, such as consent forms distributed by medical board and the prohibited use of telehealth, the electronic distribution of healthcare services, and information to receive treatment. So you can't just go to telehealth and go, I think I'm a chick. I'm a male trapped in a woman's body. The governor says this: it's kind of sad that we're even having these discussions. After deliberating over the lawsuit, Hinkle concluded that individuals wishing to transition suffer from gender dysphoria, right? And should be receiving appropriate evaluation and treatment. So if you have body dysmorphia, no one affirms that, right? No one says that's okay. The treatment for that is, yes, they're correct. That thing they got in their brain that's wrong, that's incorrect, we're just going to go with that because that'll make them happier. No, we don't do that. So for minors, this means evaluation and treatment by a multidisciplinary team, Hinkle wrote. Proper treatment begins with mental health therapy and is followed in appropriate cases by GnRH and antagonist and cross-sex hormones, referred to this disorder as gender-affirming care. So this judge says, hey, yes, there'll be mental health therapy, and we know right now that mental health therapy is to affirm whatever the child says. If the child says that he's a box of cornflakes, then we have to go with that he's a box of cornflakes. Most of them are Fruit Loops, not cornflakes. But anyway, I know that was terrible. And then the judge is basically prescribing these medications. Hinkle also concluded that some of the rest of the restrictions on transgender care for adults were, quote, unconstitutional. Joseph Knoll, founder and president of Spectrum Health, a health center specializing in the LGBTQA LMNOP plus medical care in Orlando, Florida, said Hinkle's ruling means this company can begin clearing a backlog of more than 300 patients waiting for hormonal prescriptions, according to the Washington Post. Judge Hinkle captured it quite clearly, saying that this is a situation of animus and discrimination. According to the Washington Post, Lucian Hamill, a plaintiff, said the decision was a relief. The state has no place in interfering with people's private medical decisions, and I am relieved that I can once again get health care that I need here in Florida. Again, we're confirming and affirming this mental condition. I'm just saying it how it is. A mental condition that somehow that you're a dude, you are 110% dude, and you look down at your crotch and go, "Oh, it's a pee-pee," and you're freaked out about it, and you've just put in your mind that it's not really a pee-pee, and having a pee-pee doesn't make you a boy. You have a pee-pee, but you were really a girl. That's some messed up crap. Just saying. And some people who know me may find this video and think that I'm a horrible person, but okay, fine, I'm a horrible person. Dr. Stephen Levine, a defense expert in the case, agreed with Judge Hinkle's opinion that gender identity is real, according to Hinkle's case filing. Dr. Levine also said gender-affirming care is sometimes appropriate, adding the treatment should not be aimed at ending a patient's cross-gender identity because it would be ill-informed and unrealistic. We've already seen so many people who say that they were led down this primrose path, that if they were a little confused as a child, the whole profession just started affirming this and moving them down the line, and now they're grown-ups in no man's land and with no way to get back. No way to get back. And no one seems to think that's problematical. Forrest Saunders, a Florida State Capitol journalist for Scripps, tweeted on June 11th a message from Jeremy Redfern, press secretary for DeSantis, saying that an appeal is coming. Redfern also said that there is no quality evidence to support transgender care, and history will look back on this fad in horror. I tend to agree. We're going to look back at it and go, what were people doing? What were they doing to their kids? When the kid was 4 years old, I know, let's inject them with this medicine to make sure that they don't grow up naturally. Who's that for? Is that for the kid? No, that's always for the parent. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. With horror. Anyway, there we are. I apologize for yesterday. We had a little problem with our internet here in the studio. We were uploading at about 1% every 6 hours, so that didn't really work out all that well. So I think that we're in much better condition now. We have had the conversations with Frontier, and yesterday's program uploaded when I finally got it fixed. Uploaded fairly quickly. Hopefully this one will too. All right. Anyway, we got to get out of here and make room for somebody else. If you've got comments on this kind of stuff, go ahead. Be brave. Write them in the comments. If you agree with me, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. Just don't use a lot of swear words, because, you know, my pastor follows my page. So just make sure that you don't use a lot of swear words. So if you use a lot of swear words, I will have to just go ahead and delete that comment. I will. And block you from the site. But I'd like not to do that. If you've got a real argument why it is okay to give a 4-year-old a puberty blocker, and schedule a 12-year-old girl to have her breast removed because she may be a little tomboyish and not like to wear a pink dress, so she must be a dude. You have a 4-year-old boy that sees that his cousins are wearing princess dresses, and he wants to wear one too, just like his cousins. Or his older sisters, and because he wants to do that, he must indeed be a chick. So I know, let's go ahead and chemically castrate him. Let's mess him up, because somebody thinks that's the best idea. Go ahead and write that down in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking. All right, anyway, we got to get out of here and make room for somebody else. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.